Welcome back to the next episode on our Headwater Sage podcast. Today we have the beautiful MaCall with us, who is a licensed marriage
and family therapist.
Perfect. And one of my very good friends, and she has taught me so much about just all the things, but she's a wonderful human. I'm so happy to have you on our podcast.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm excited to be here.
Yay, good.
See what happens.
Well, we're going to have all the questions, and you've done all the things, so we're super excited to talk to you. So first question is, can you kind of just share what initially drew you to holistic health coaching and breath work?
Yeah. So I basically started feeling really icky. Like, it kind of started with, obviously I was already in the therapy realm. I was doing meditation stuff, but I started, my health really started to decline. And so that really jumped off, I need to start looking at other alternatives. I went to my doctor. They, of course, this specialist. And by the time I'm going through all the people and nobody's really giving me answers. And I would have been on 6 different medications if I would have stuck that route. So, obviously I knew you, but someone was like, yeah, you should really look into doing the holistic health coaching stuff. You should see what that's all about. So obviously I contacted you and we started talking, and that just you helped me to get on the path of let's change your gut and let's change your food and let's look at everything overall. That doesn't just mean food
right.
And things okay, yeah, I'm a therapist and I'm doing the meditation and stuff like that, but let's look at everything. It's more than just that, And so I really dove into food and really reset my gut and started to feel better. But then I really started to learn about the nervous system. And that actually is going to talk about autoimmune disorders and things like that, which is what I was struggling with. And when your nervous system isn't right, you're going to have health issues. People are always they can't be. Oh my gosh. You do the research there, they're going to be connected, and they are connected.
Yeah. Well, even in my Ayurveda schooling, they talk about the nervous system. If the nervous system is out of whack, then every system is going to follow suit. The nervous system is the one that we have to correct first and foremost. And if we're not doing that as medical professionals or healthcare professionals, then it's not going to work, right? You got to start from the beginning. And that's really cool that you knew that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is even once I fixed my gut, and it was still gosh, there's still some stuff here. There's still just why do I still have anxiety? If this was supposed to fix everything, why is that still there? And then it starts to, you dive into that stuff and you're oh yeah, because you're not working on your nervous system, MaCall. So it was oh my gosh, okay. I'd done a little bit of breath work at home, but it wasn't anything diving in, having a trained professional teach you breath work is mind blowing. It's a completely different type of experience than, not to say not doing it at home isn't amazing too.
Yeah.
But to have an experience or with a group even. See, I feel power when I'm in a group, doing breath work. I feel oh my gosh, I'm feeding off the energy of the people here.
I've witnessed it. She does.
Oh my gosh, I really do. I get into it right off the bat, the energy's here. But I feel things then even really started. I felt lighter. I just it felt like a total body, total system reset the first time I did group breath work. It was it's almost hard to explain because it was beautiful. And it was oh my gosh, I feel that was a reset to my nervous system. My anxiety was a lot less. It was a huge shift for me.
And breath work does that. That is literally the way that we breathe is speaking to, our unconscious mind and our conscious being, right? And if we are not breathing correctly or not even speaking these different sentences to have a conversation with our two selves, then our nervous system can just kind of just do its own thing and kind of go out of whack
100%.
and all the different things. But there's ways to do it, and it's natural, and it's free. Like you get to breathe for free. Like, I mean, if you want to go to a breathwork facilitator or something like that, a little bit different, but they can teach you, and then you can use those tools to just, you can do them in your car. You can do it while you're at home, It's obviously not the ones that are going to get you on a journey, but
yes,
those ones will help you reset. So that's really great.
For sure.
So how has health coaching and breath work affected your life in how you live today?
I feel like now it's just become part of my everyday. Obviously, maybe not breath work. Like breath work, you're not necessarily doing every day or all the time. But I feel like I'm being more mindful from the holistic pieces of foods that cause me inflammation, or how am I interacting with the people in my home? Like making sure all those pieces you even talked about, like what do finances look like how is your relationship or your marriage? Like, what's that like? What's your relationship with your kiddos? And it just helped me to like look at the whole picture overall. I feel like then breath work is just that bonus, or it's like, oh, I'll do that a little bit here and there. If I can't do like a big sit down session of breath work, of just like bringing in those pieces, as often as I can.
Do you use breath work in your meditations?
I try to. Yeah. I feel like you do need to be in the space and have the time to really bring that in, because I meditate a lot. But I do it on like a smaller scale level, you could say.
Yeah, and that's perfect. Yeah. And that's breath work too, just it doesn't have to be like a holotropic breath work session where you're going in for an hour and a half, or you know what I mean, but you can there's some really beautiful breath work exercises and tools and techniques that you could do. Like one example is the box breath work. You can kind of breathe up the square for 4 seconds, you can hold, you can breathe out for 4 seconds, and then you hold, and you just kind of just keep doing that, and that is just a reset for the nervous system. And you can do that when if you're at work and you're frazzled, or you are driving in traffic and you're frazzled. Right. Another really beautiful way to just like reset is like breathing in through the nose, big belly breath through the nose for just a few seconds. And then a longer exhale than the inhale. And that's just going to tell your body, you're safe. You're safe. Right. You're safe. And so it's like I said before, it's
like
just
if
this
you're nervous
language
during a podcast and you just need to take a deep breath. No,
you're not nervous. You're doing wonderful.
I'm not.
So what does holistic health mean to you in the context of therapy, and how do you incorporate that into your sessions?
I feel like holistic health is just looking at the person as a whole, like looking at all the factors. It's not just this one conflict you're having with someone. It's not just this one thing that happened in your past. It's like what's happening overall. And that's my training, is to look at the system, look at the whole system of a person. But to take that one step further is like looking at bringing meditation in to the session. What are we doing at the beginning or the end of the session? Maybe we're really just taking some good deep breaths together. Maybe it's just like in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're just kind of resetting for a minute. Do
you start your session with like a grounding exercise?
Sometimes. I feel like it depends on the person. Not everyone is like, yay, meditation, but it's definitely a big suggestion of mine to do that. But I have loved it's my realm. If we can like do meditation within the session, a lot of parts work that I do, that is basically, I want you to close your eyes and you're going to envision your inner child, and we're going to go there. So that does become part of it. But I feel like those are the pieces that can be like the things that are going to take you to that next level in therapy. Like you have therapy as your core, but when you can bring in all these other outside pieces, or those extras, that's what's going to like take you to that next level. Possibly even like, not possibly, but help you get through your stuff maybe quicker, more efficiently, more like, that's like changing the neuroplasticity of your brain.
I like that word.
I like that word, right? Right? It's like, how do we make the brain a little more like, come on, work with me, brain, and not so rigid of a brain. And I feel like that's where the breath work and meditation and stuff like that can come in to help that neuroplasticity move you through this stuff a little quicker, a little easier. And like, who doesn't want a little quicker and a little easier?
Right.
I mean, like, nobody wants to like work on their trauma or work on their stuff necessarily. It's not like a good time. It's not like a fun time to go there.
Well, and I think I've said this in like probably all my podcasts now, but there's this understanding in Ayurveda that we are born this perfect light. And I know I've said this, so just hang in there, but you're born this perfect light, and it's called your Prakriti, right? This is you as a perfect being. And then you're a baby, you're born, and you have a social security card, and then mom and dad name you, and then all of these things that you're conditioned, you're programmed into liking the Packers, liking the Brewers, liking the Cubs, you know, like whatever. Our family does this sport, like we're learning here, this is a school you're going to, you know, the government teachers, all the things, we're learning all of these things, and then we forget, it kind of just dims this light, right? Dims this light, dims this light, dims this light. And so in our life, we're not born to like all the stuff that we like, right? Like we don't know who we are. And so we get lost, and we get confused, we get depressed, we get anxious, and we're like, I'm doing all the things. I have a really good job. I have a beautiful family, but I'm still sad. I'm still depressed. I don't know what's going on. Right. Well, it's us needing that like light back home, right? To find out who we are again. So with the Vikriti, with all those things that are blocking you from your light, then holistic health, whole means the whole person, right? So they're going to their therapy sessions, but you're saying add in these other things. So then what you can do essentially is start peeling back all of those things that are dimming your light, so that you can find out who you are again, and you can feel it, and you can go back home to yourself. So therapy and like holistic health coaching, breath work, sound baths, other modalities, Reiki. Like there's so many modalities that you can go and try and do these things, so that you can go back home to yourself 100%. And feel who you are. Because that's what, like, essentially that's what we're doing, right? Is removing all of these conditions and programs that I am not good enough. I am not smart enough. I'm not worthy, right? Who told you that? And why do we believe
Why do you believe that?
Right.
Yeah. Like figuring out who you are again.
Yeah. I love it. Okay.
Love it.
So then let's go into breath work. If someone who's unfamiliar with breath work, is there how would you describe the breath work process to somebody who's new to it, and the benefits?
I feel like the process is letting go. Like that's where you need to start. Like if you're going to sit in a breathwork session, it should almost be like you have the mentality of surrendering and letting go.
Because you've done holotropic breathwork sessions.
Yes.
So that's the one you're talking about.
Yes, that is what I'm talking about. So I'm going like, let's go there. Let's do the deep one. Let's get in it. And to me, that's going to be your most beneficial. Not that they all aren't. I don't want to discount any form of breathwork, because it's
most beneficial for like what you've
and I should say for
experience.
Me, yes, the experience, the journey of it. For me, the holotropic breathwork has been like the mother of all breathwork. When we look at it that way. So me, when I think about that form of breathwork, which I literally think every person should experience at least once in their life, because if you go into it with the mindset of like letting go, surrendering, just doing what I'm told, almost like breathing the way I'm told and sticking with it, it's like, it's mind blowing. Yeah. You can have visions. I had a past life, like vision regression, in one of mine that was like, whoa, blew my mind. It helped me to understand myself better. It helped me to understand my connection with my son better. Like it is beautiful. It's beautiful. And then you look at the science behind it and like how it literally is releasing the crystallizations of your pineal gland. Like it literally, like things that have been linked to Alzheimer's, dementia, like Parkinson's, is they are now showing that crystallization is what can be linked. And you're releasing that crystallization, like through just breathing. Through a certain type of breathing. Obviously, I'm passionate about it. Yeah, I could get excited. I love it. Jumping out of my seat over here. No, but like, So to me, it's like going into breath work again for like a beginner, someone who's never tried it, of just like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, give it a shot.
Yeah.
Like, you might just feel lighter. You might just feel, more relaxed, maybe less anxious. Maybe like the depression doesn't feel as heavy if you're depressed. Or maybe you'll have some really crazy, amazing visions that you were like totally not expecting. Maybe you connect with a past loved one. Maybe like, who knows? It can feel like an out of body experience. Like that's what it can feel like for me. Which can connect to some of those deep forms of meditation that are so unbelievably beneficial. So yeah, if I answered that question right, I think.
That was great. Thank you.
Yeah.
So can you share a powerful experience that you have personally had? I know you said you did kind of go into that one where you're like a past life, but what is something like, so how many breath work sessions have you done? Like in a group that you know?
In group setting?
Yeah.
Or I could even go with like more of the like holotropic. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, holotropic.
Breath work. To me, that's like the deep dive. I've done it at least 6 or 7 of those.
Wow.
And then having like, the other ones that are kind of outside of that maybe aren't as like, whoa.
Right. And you've been on both ends of it. You've done, like where you're experiencing it as a participant, but you've also been on the outside, like just looking in and being a part of the ceremony in the group setting. So yeah, let's kind of just go into your story on that. Like what is like an experience that you've had that you're like, wow, this is really profound, or maybe even like let's go into your first one.
Oh my gosh, my first one. My first one, it was like I connected with my soul. It literally, the conscious meeting the subconscious. Yeah, that was totally like, and like I just let my body move however it needed to move, and I was shaking, like full body shaking.
You weren't thinking about like the dishes or taking your kids to hockey.
And you like can't. No, no, it's a way. It shuts it off. It shuts it off. It's a way to completely, like, people say that who have a hard time with meditation, because I hear that all the time. I can't do it. Like the thoughts, they just come in, and I think about,
this might be a good way to do it.
This is a great segue for people. Like it shows you that you can, even when you think you can't. Like it's not even like an option to.
And then you finally can feel it.
You can feel it.
And then you realize, man, if I allow myself to get there, I can do this with meditation as well.
100%.
And smaller like breath work exercises, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for your first one, you were able to feel that.
Oh my gosh, I so felt that. And it just felt it felt freeing. That is so freeing to like, I actually can't focus on anything but my breath. But then it becomes, I'm not even focusing on my breath anymore. I'm doing that automatically. My body's doing that automatically. And I am like in this beautiful, peaceful space. Yeah. Like my soul is in this beautiful, peaceful space, and I'm letting go. And maybe I'm crying, or maybe I'm yelling. Like that happened on both ends in my first time. And it was just freeing. That's like the best way to describe it. It was so freeing. And it made me feel meditation that like I have way more power than I think I do when I do meditation. I'm actually so powerful. I'm completely in control of my thoughts, to remind myself that. But at least like, I feel like, especially right after breath work, when you do meditation for that like week or two after, you're like, I'm so in control. Yeah. I'm so powerful. Like my mind does not have that power over me, That's where I feel like with anxiety, it can be so beneficial with anxiety. I do have a lot of health coaching clients with anxiety, and that's the number one thing we do is breath work. And it doesn't even have to be holotropic. It's like, there's so many other ways to do this, and just to feel like the calmness within themselves, and just to feel that freeing feeling is it's like a blessing, right? It's always there, but we just need to learn to tap in and tune in. But with breath work, it's like, Gatlin just came back from this language of breath course, and I love the way that they explain those, that, the concept there is that language of breath is this bridge, it's this communication between the unconscious and the conscious mind. And
just by breathing, we can get ourselves to that point, and we can start to tell our body, give these messages from our unconscious and tell our body what to do, and just kind of like be able to have this conversation with yourself. And there's two sides of us, and most of us have never felt that side, the other side of us.
Right.
Like, this is me. This is my 3D self in this thinking mind that won't stop. And that's telling me I'm not good enough. I'm not abundant enough. I'm, too big, too small, don't drive a nice enough car. None of that matters. None of that matters. It's like, once you realize that there's another part of you, and you feel this space of like freeness and blissfulness, and you can tap into yourself. Introception is the name. Introception, like learning to like tune into your body and in tune with your energetic being as well. It's amazing and incredible. So yeah,
I love that. Totally agree. Love that.
Good. How do you perceive spirituality's role in mental health?
I think it is a very integral part of mental health. I do feel like, obviously, everyone that I see has a different background, different beliefs, different whatever that may be, whether it be super religious, super spiritual, somewhere in the middle, or none of the above. If anything, there's usually a connecting to some sort of higher power, or just connection to the earth or to self. And we find those. And I feel like when you have that piece of it, there's more hope there. Yeah. There's more, the belief that you can go deeper, the belief that there's like more to yourself, if that's making any sense. I feel like the hope is almost the biggest piece. Like, that is where I see that becoming a huge piece in the therapy room of how it can give people hope.
Yeah, just hope that there's something more than you and bigger than you, and there's just something, and this force to live for. Yeah. If we just think that we're just here and life doesn't really matter, we're just gonna live and die and that's it, then our decisions and wanting to love ourselves and be motivated to love ourselves is not really there, because what is there to live for? I'm just here to live and die. Who cares? Yep. Well, there's a bigger picture, right? And if we believe in that, and whether right now it's just a belief or you really feel it and you know it in your bones, even the belief itself is powerful.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Can you share how spiritual beliefs have shaped your therapeutic approach?
I feel like my spiritual beliefs have helped me to realize that all these other, kind of like we talked about before, all these other little outliers that there are, like therapy can be at the center of it, but there's all these little outliers that can help just take it to the next level. Not that therapy in itself isn't amazing, and also not that you have to have the spiritual beliefs to take it to that next level. But when I see the spiritual beliefs in part of the therapy process, it's things move quicker, or you move through things easier, or it doesn't feel as heavy or as hard. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like it. So what practical tips can you offer to our listeners who are seeking to nurture their mental and spiritual well-being?
I feel like meditation. And that is such a I can't
buzzword too right now
it's
too.
It's too much. I can't. What do you mean? And I'm talking if you literally aren't doing anything that has to do with that, the most basic level of meditation would be what I would suggest. And that is even just pausing throughout your day and taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Maybe doing that 2 or 3 times. That's one of the biggest things, paying attention to your breath. The breath can bring you back into, especially when I feel anxiety or depression, it's almost you get out. I'm using my hands a lot in this the podcast. I like it. But you're getting
video too.
Yeah,
so you're
right,
good.
Right. It's you're getting out of your mind too much, or trapped into your mind, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
And to me, the breath can bring us back into center. Mm-hmm. Let's just check in with the body real quick.
Right.
Let's check in with the spirit real quick. You're not your thoughts.
Yeah.
And if you can go back to the breath, that's going back to your breath and not your thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, especially when the thoughts are taking over. So I feel like that's like my first piece of advice. And then it's just like taking it a little more step. Maybe that's a guided meditation on YouTube or something, or just doing like a short mindfulness something. There's so much out there. But to me, it's like when you do a breathwork class, or you can sit with a breathwork facilitator, like if you take that as your first step, even if, especially if meditation has seemed like I can't do that and I don't want to do that, well, then try breathwork, actually. Like do that first, and you're going to feel, like we said before, you're going to feel so much powerful going into meditation.
Yeah.
You're going to feel like you have so much more control. Like this is easy peasy for me. Yeah.
Because now you know what that sensation feels like. You kind of know like what the goal is. But the goal is, like I think with meditation too, is that there is no goal, because I mean, you know, like you can get pretty stinking deep in a meditation session. And so I think maybe that's something we can talk about too real quick is, you know, for anyone who is maybe new to meditation, you know, like maybe kind of go over these different stages that can happen. You know, like that first one is very relaxing, and just maybe take a few breaths, and then as we practice, as we get like further into this meditation, you start to actually listen to your unconscious being and your energetic body.
Yeah.
What type of things have happened for you?
So for me, it was all of a sudden like, am I seeing my third eye? Can I actually see that? Like, oh, okay, I'm seeing like purple indigo there, like literally right where my third eye would be. Like, okay, is that it? Like, is that what I'm, you know, you start to question the things, of course, but like the deeper you go, you're like, oh yeah, okay, well, let me focus on that. Let me focus on that color. Let me try to change that color to white. And when you start to do those things, because then it's like, okay, I'm going from my third eye to my crown, and I'm trying to tap into my higher self. Oh, whoa, I can do that. Like, what? Wait, what? I can do that? Or I feel like to me, it's almost like I've gone completely out of body. Like I feel completely out of body. Which for some can feel a little scary.
Yeah, that's true.
Which it isn't, because you are in control. And that's actually what breathwork can help with too. The control. You are completely in control. You can stop breathing, like, and start normal breathing and stop doing the breathwork breathing at any point in time, because you are the one in control. But I feel like that's where those can tie together, is like it can help you conquer those fears of like getting into deep meditation. I feel like the bilateral stimulation too, of like either sound bowls or like binaural beats, like something that has been shown and proven, especially for people that maybe have ADHD or have a hard time with meditation, can help to really get you into that meditation.
And you can get that for free on YouTube or Spotify or like
free stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Binaural beats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So cool. I like that a lot too.
Yes.
I use that quite a bit.
Yeah. Sound bowls too. Sound bowls can be. And you
like
can
them.
get that with, so, you know, like there's obviously options where you can go do that in person, which I highly recommend. It's a completely different experience in person than it is, you know, through your earbuds.
It is. Like,
but
you can
also
feel the vibrations like when you're in person, right? Like,
it's amazing.
It's like through your whole body.
Whole body.
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What trends or shifts are you noticing in your practice that signal a change, or like just like signal a change in how therapy is approached?
I think the old ways of therapy, of like, you're going to come in and we're going to sit down, and then it's like old school CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and we're going to like work through this one problem. Not to say that doesn't still have a place, but I think that's shifting.
Yeah.
People are looking for more. They're wanting more. They're wanting to go deeper. And I feel like that's even, so I do IFS, which is parts work. So integrated family systems therapy. And that's like working with the inner child, working with all the different parts within ourselves. And that actually has a wonderful spiritual connection in it, because you're working with the self. I'm putting that in quotes.
Yeah.
And your self is your most connected to God, most connected to the universe, most connected to yourself self. And when we can identify,
you know.
I know, right? And when we can identify that part of ourselves and then take that part of ourselves and heal the other parts of ourselves, whoa. Like it literally, I've never seen a type of therapy move through things quicker. And so when we think about that, I don't need to go off on my parts tangent.
I like it. I'm like, yeah, tell me more.
But that is a newer type of therapy.
Okay.
And I mean, it was developed in the 80s, but it's really like gaining ground.
More kind of mainstream now.
Yes, it's gaining ground. And so that is becoming a newer way to look at things.
And you use this all the time now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's that inner child work, which doesn't have to be, you can go into inner child work without it being like traditional parts work, which is still amazing, beautiful stuff. But I truly think identifying the self in that most connected to God or higher self part of you and bringing that part in to heal these other parts of us. Because we have tons of other parts of us.
Oh, yeah.
You know? It's really beautiful to watch those connections.
Sounds beautiful. I think I want to do this with you.
I would totally. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And that is becoming more mainstream now. And that's wonderful. It's a really big shift for therapy.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that. And I'm seeing more of these extra components too. People are like, okay, yeah, I like the therapy piece, but like, what else can I do?
Right.
And that's where it is. It's the breath work.
You kind of want that homework or something.
Reiki, sound bowls, bringing meditation into their everyday life a little bit more. Things like that are shifting the therapy world. It isn't just sit down, talk therapy anymore. It's becoming more than that.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really, really powerful.
Yeah, it really is. It's exciting for me to see it shift that way because I don't think we were meant for just talk therapy. That's not what this is supposed to be about.
It's going into that holistic realm again, like that whole person, you know, that is holistic. People just think means natural. Like I thought, there's those holistic hippies. And like, that's not what it means. It means you're treating and you're I wouldn't even say treating, like you're nurturing the whole self, you're nurturing the whole system, all the pieces. And within the body, there's lots of pieces. And within your life, in your 3D world, there's lots of pieces. In the 5D world, there's lots of pieces.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we can work on, and you're never really done. Like you're not going to be done, but you start to get to really know yourself, and then you get to feel yourself. And when people say like, do the work, do the inner work, like, what does that even mean? Right. Yeah. It's just finding yourself, removing those layers from blocking your light. Like that's what the inner work is. And 100%. You can start with therapy. And where is your therapy office? I don't think we've talked about that.
No, that's okay. So we actually technically have 3 locations. One of them, so Grace Counseling is where I work. I do 2 days out of, we have an office by the post office in Reedsburg. It's right over there. And then we also have a location in New Lisbon. And then the other one, there's one over by Culver's in Reedsburg that is solely like a county program that we run out of there. But so I'm out of the other 2 and I do 2 days a week at each one. So I kind of shift my time to move across counties a little bit.
And you are on the board for the Tin Man as well.
Newly. It's very exciting. I really love that.
Yeah.
That was an easy, of course I'll be a part of that board. So
yeah, we are lucky to have you for sure. Yeah. And you have been to a Headwater Sage retreat.
Yes.
And can you kind of go over like your experience with that? Like what was that for you? And you actually led a meditation for us in that day as well. So I would love to like hear your...
Okay. So let's start there. I led a meditation. Would you think, okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to just do my thing and tell the people how to meditate. Not tell you. I mean, like guide how to meditate, It became so much more than that, even just that piece. I felt guided to say things that I'm like, where is this coming from? I don't care. I'm just going to say them. And I felt like a message was shared through me to the collective group that was there. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. So just like that piece alone, like this one piece out of like 8 or 10 other pieces that we did that day was amazing.
Yeah.
And then we did group breath work, which that is actually the breath work where I had a past life regression. And that was like the connection in that room, the energy in that room. It was, I'm speechless. Like it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was strong. It was beautiful. It was powerful. There were so many people working so deep on themselves. And when you can bring a group of people together that want to just go there and work on it.
Right.
And every person there
They're doing the inner work.
is doing the inner work, and every person there is also doing the inner work, and we're all there supporting each other.
Yeah.
That feeling is like, you go to like something like that, you created a little community within one day of people that you can rely on, lean on, that you just never would expect. Because it's like we all went there and did that, and that was tough, but we did it together.
And we put all those, those walls down, like all those walls came down, and we didn't see people for, at least from my perspective, you don't see, this black and white issue or trauma or like why people are there. They're just there. They're there to take care of themselves. And that was beautiful in itself. It doesn't matter what they were there for. It was, and no one was judging for anyone like coming in for anything that was going on in their life. It was just, hey, I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of you for doing the work, and thank you for doing the work, because when we all do this type of work, then we're
ripple effect.
Yes, the ripple effect. And then how do you change the world?
Yeah.
You change yourself.
Yeah.
You work on yourself.
That is literally probably my theme of therapy. I guess it more obviously when someone's coming in, but I'm like, we're going to dive so deep on you, especially when I work with couples and families, couples, especially when you have a couple coming into the room and they're trying to point fingers at each other. Literally, I stated in the first session, this is going to be about each of you looking in the mirror at what you can change and not pointing the finger at the other person of what they need to change. Because that's where we change.
Right.
That's like overall, the whole world.
Yeah.
If we could all just take a good look in the mirror of what we need to work on and what we need to change, that inner work, that's what, that ripple effect. Ooh.
I know, it's beautiful.
Big.
Yeah. It sure is. And that's, you can feel it like when you are in like a retreat setting or in a group setting or maybe a breath work or some sacred ceremony or something like that. Like you can really feel that. Like you can feel how beautiful it is when somebody does their work, because you can like just literally feel the energy shift in that room.
Yeah.
And then you're just so happy and you're so proud of the people that are doing that. It's such an honor to like hold space for people. You hold space for breath work. And so how's your experience with that?
My experience with holding space at breathwork is, well, number one, it is an amazing honor to be a part of that for people. And then to watch how individualized it is. Some people are really moving. Some people are sobbing. Some people are like just totally chilled out, maybe taking a little nap. And, you never know. Not really taking a nap usually, but like it's so different for everybody. But to be able to just know that I can be there and be a safe person for someone when they might be crying, or just to support them. I don't, it's a huge honor. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch people go through it from the outside. When you know what it feels like when you're going through it on the inside, and then to watch a group come together and watch each person go through it individually. And then to watch people when they're coming out of it, of like the smiles what was that? What just happened? Wait, did I actually just hold my breath for 2 minutes? Yeah. That did not happen.
4 minutes?
What? What? There's no way. There's no way I did that 3 times,
Right.
It's like, no, you did. And that's where the magic happens. So
and being a space holder, I think, is a really special, it takes a special person to do that, because it's somebody who, like they open up their heart to strangers, and they're there not casting judgment on anything that is being done or like said or what their experience is like at all. Like there's no judgment there. It's just pure love. Like, hey, I'm here to
pure love.
Honor you. I support you. I'm here to, just be here for you. Yeah. And whether I'm sitting here meditating with you or I'm, holding your hand, that's, and you do a phenomenal job. I love having MaCall for some space holding.
Thank you.
And some
all
integration
day,
work.
Love it. I love that part of it.
What trends or shifts are, actually, I already asked you that. Hold on a second. Is there anything that you'd like to share that you could inspire our listeners on their own journey of healing and growth?
I feel like do the thing you're scared of.
Yeah.
Do the thing you're scared of. Wherever the fear lies, go there.
You know, it's funny that you said this. So my last podcast was with my old boss, Brandon Green, who owns a gym in Baraboo, Pulse Fitness. We talked about that, and it was, your limitations lie on the other side of fear, right? Like
100%.
That's where your journey starts, is going past those fear.
Yep.
And then I got home, and then on the side of my refrigerator is that quote, is like, your journey starts on the other side of fear. And I was like, what is going on? And then you just said that, and I was like, how funny. Okay.
There's some synchronicities here
is
for
that
you,
a lesson
Khrystyna?
for me? What am I scared
and the
of?
collective, it's fine, right? It is though, but that is like fear. When you think of like fear in its connection to our ego, and how those two hang out together, or it originates there, like that's where we're being held back.
Yeah.
But where we're being held back by our own thoughts. Like that's our own stuff there, whatever that is. But I do feel like sometimes with other, like these extra more holistic things or spiritual things, there can be a fear associated with it. Like, oh, breath work, that sounds scary. I don't know. Or maybe not. Maybe it's not scary at all.
Well, there's some stigmas
But
on it.
Stigma. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And where it's like, go there and do that. If you feel the fear, actually do that.
Yeah.
Actually push yourself to do that.
I've been doing that a lot this last year.
Yes, you have.
And it has been really good. Like, I've conquered a lot of fears, and that's something that like holds me back from a lot of things is my fear, a fear of doing anything, a fear of going back to school, a fear of, think I'm not good enough to do something. But I know that I have a job to do, and that is to get past those fears so that I can grow and heal and be the best person that I can be. And same thing for you. Like, I see you do the work. Like you're doing incredible work for yourself. And it's such an honor to like be a part of your journey. Like just be there. You. And I mean, you've helped me with so many things. It's kind of it's like a swinging door for you and I, like just kind of go back and forth. And
it really is.
Yeah, you've helped me a lot.
I was going to say the amount that I feel like it's mutual. You've helped me in just the same way. Like but see,
sometimes I feel like yours is bigger than mine, but like, man.
No, but see, that's like when you move past those fears. I think this even makes the point of like it brings the right people into your life.
Oh yeah.
The right people come into your life, the right things come into your life, maybe more abundance comes into your life. Like you just find that all of a sudden you're following the path you should be on.
Yeah.
And it's fear that's holding us back from following the path that we should be on. Because same thing, like, I can't be a therapist. When I decided to go back to school, that was total fear. And now I'm like, what was I thinking? Right. Hell yeah, I can. I can do that.
And don't you think like we're kind of like very divinely orchestrated? Mm-hmm. So if it's kind of like this really perfect beacon of light. It's literally telling you, this is what you're scared of. That's your path. Mm-hmm. Like it's really that simple. Mm-hmm. You're scared of that. I mean, obviously, like jumping off a bridge, like that's scary. Yeah, but we're not doing kind that.
Of fear. Yeah.
Like if you have this this calling or this this excitement for something, you're like, wow, I really want to do that. I'm really excited about that, but I'm scared because I don't want to, pursue something like that if this is my consequence or if this is the outcome or I'm not sure I can do this. No, it's there for a reason, and it's a calling for you. Follow your excitement. That's your path. That's lighting the path for you, is to just follow the fear.
Yeah.
As long as it's not dangerous and you're not doing something stupid. Right. I don't mean that. But yeah, I think I still have fears that I'm like, wow, if I could follow my path in this direction, but there's still fears there. And that some of those things, it's really hard to overcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's your dharma.
I think too, if you just look at even like, sometimes it's just fear of judgment. Like, oh my gosh, if I do this, am I going to lose people? Am I going to lose loved ones? Or like, like things like that pop up. And it's like the right people will remain with you, or the real people in your life aren't going to judge you for whatever those things are. And if you're being called to do those things, step into that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have a friend too that tells me like some friends are just there for a reason and a season, and that's
Reason
okay.
and a season.
And that's okay. Like like doing this type of work on myself, I lost a lot of friends, and those were my friends at where I was in my life.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's not saying that I'm better than them or worse off than them or anything like that. It's just, they're not the people that are supposed to be in my life at the moment. But it's been a really cool journey because now I have like all of these really incredible people in my life that like, they push me to, to grow. There's no drama. There's like, it's just like love and light. Like it's just it's really nice. And I'm like, wow, this is what friends are, what really good friends feel like, and the more work that you do on yourself, the more that you attract those type of people into your life.
Yeah,
And
I totally agree. I feel like even to you bringing up drama, I feel like you start to notice a lot less drama.
Oh, yeah.
A lot less drama when you're
flying above the radar.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like that?
When you have the right people in your life,
Yeah.
that's not, there can be, because to me, then you're with people who, if there is a source of conflict or tension, we're going to talk about that. We're going to move through that and we're going to move forward instead of it being this drama filled thing. Yeah.
Like you are literally going to talk about how you're feeling.
Yes.
And you're going to communicate.
Yes.
So I'm feeling some tension here.
Yeah.
And this is how
Like,
we're going to work
what is that?
on this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
And
that's
those
beautiful.
and the people that are open and willing to do that are the people you want in your life. And the people that why are they? Why is there this consistent drama surrounding this one person in your life? Like, what is that? What's that all about? Number one, look inward.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's a
Look
lesson,
inward.
right? It's a mirror.
Yeah, it's a mirror.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's another thing that like I feel is such an important thing to talk about too, is that everyone and everything in your life is a lesson and is a mirror. It is, we're looking at ourselves. And so if something triggers you, something bothers you, you start thinking, okay, why am I letting that trigger me? Why am I so mad in traffic? Like, where is that trigger coming from? And why am I allowing that person to dictate my day? Oh, so I'm not even that person's not dictating your day, your thoughts are.
Yeah.
And so you need to start going inward, like what is going on here?
Yeah.
I mean, I have so many people that I've known, that just have, issue after issue after issue after issue. And I'm just like, well, actually, for example, we went to the Tyler Childers concert.
Oh, yeah.
2 nights ago. And the line, if you've ever been to Alpine Valley, you don't get out of there
Until forever.
Yeah, because there's the way that the traffic is, it's just you're there for like an hour. Well, there was a bunch of cars like waiting to get out, but there was no movement. Like nobody was moving. So Brian and I, we had snacks. Like we were just sitting in the vehicle, and then we were eating the snacks, and then we were watching people. We were people watching. And this lady gets out of her car and she like stands in front, like there's a line of cars, but no one has moved for 60 minutes, not even an inch with their tire, like nothing. So she's like parked on the side, but she wants to get in because she's like, oh, I'm a hurry up and wait type of person. And she gets out of her car and she stands aggressively with her back in front of this car and like has her back to the people, but she was like, they're not going to run me over. Then my car is going to, get through. So she waited there for like 45 minutes, and I looked at Brian and said, this is a lesson for all of us. Like, not just for her or for the people who are involved, but like for all of us just watching that. And I'm like, what's the lesson here? Oh, I would have, try to be more patient, be more calm, just enjoy the ride. Like no one's moving. Like just go for a nighttime stroll because you're not gonna
going
do
anywhere.
anything.
Right.
And and then you start to think like, what would I do if I was in that situation?
Yeah.
The person
You
that
would
was
have snacks.
yeah, I would have snacks. I was ready. But no, like the person that she stood in front of the car, like they got out and then they got into this fight and we were like watching and I'm like, what a perfect opportunity for that person that was in that vehicle to get out and be like, hey, I will let you in. Like, you don't have to stand here. What's your name? Yeah. Did you have fun at the concert?
Right.
Like, turn it around and just be a really good person.
Approach it with love.
Because then they could instantly put their walls down and be like, oh, thanks. Like, I'm so sorry. And I feel kind of dumb. But also it's a good lesson for them. That wasn't just a weird story, but I want to tell you that.
I love it. Yeah. I think it actually brings light to almost your last question of like a piece of advice. And if I have had anything that has struck me more, on such a deep level within the past couple of months, it is become love.
Yeah.
If you can approach every situation with become love? How does that change things? And I think it changes things exponentially. Like you're having a conflict with someone and they think that like they're pointing fingers at you, or you think that they did wrong. What if you became love in that situation? What would happen? I think it would change everything. I actually truly believe like that is every soul's purpose.
Yeah.
Deep down, like on the deepest level, is to just become love.
Do you know who Muji is?
No.
Oh my gosh, you gotta read his book. He's great. He's like a wonderful guru. You know Sam Garrett?
Yes.
So Sam Garrett, like he's learned so much from Muji, and I've heard it in his songs too. And anyways, but Muji says, live in love, and you are loving awareness. We are loving awareness. Ram Dass says that as well. Yeah. And so this morning, actually, on my mala, I was like meditating, and so there's 108 beads, and so you just kind of pull it through your hands 108 times, and I just said, I'm loving awareness. I'm loving awareness. Yes, I'm loving awareness.
That's become love.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly
that is.
So
right there.
Another synchronicity. I just thought that was interesting.
I mean, not weird though.
Say kind of weird, but I think this always happens to us. So
this is probably going to end at all the same numbers too, like 444 or something. I don't know. Yeah,
probably will. 22, right. 22.
Yep.
I have no idea. We probably talked long on that. Yeah. But I appreciate you so much for being on our podcast and coming out here. And I'd love to have you come out again, and we can just talk about anything. I think would be perfect.
Yes,
because I think we could talk forever. So
I know, right?
Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You bet. Thank you.
Thanks so much.